Hi everybody, it's Danielle here from DKW Styling. Okay, so if you're new to my videos, I like to do hair tutorials or makeup tutorials or fashion or kind of whatever I'm loving at the moment. I specialize and educate in hair extensions, specifically on a method I created called natural beaded rose. But one of the things that makes my extensions good and look natural, I believe, is my love and passion for color. Maybe a lot of people don't know this about me, but I love everything about color. I love mixing, I love blending, I love balayage, I love all different types of techniques. One of the new hottest techniques for blondes or brunettes, I do it a ton on blondes right now, is the smudge technique. So a lot of my clients are starting to ask, or other stylists are reaching out and asking, what is the smudge and how do I achieve this look? So a smudge, basically, not to be confused with the ombre, is just kind of a softer, I have a little bit of a smudge, it's just kind of a softer, it gives you depth at the roots. You'll see a lot of celebrities where it's not ombre, but you don't see those streaky bleached, highlights or those brown streaky highlights, but yet you can see the movement. A lot of people refer to the Kate Beckinsale highlights. I see that picture so many times on Pinterest, and I have so many girls bring it in, they're like, I want her hair. But I think that girls are liking the different colors throughout, but that it's not streaky on top. It's just nice and soft and blended, and that's called the smudge. So I am going to tell you how I achieve the smudge so that you can communicate it to your stylist, or if it's something that you want. So basically what I do is I do what's called bump the base. What you want to do is take a permanent. Most of us, I'll go specifically with blondes. Most of us blondes, I swear naturally, we're like a level 6, which is like a medium brown. And so I bump my base, or a lot of my natural level 6 bases, with maybe a 7 is all. But it just is enough to kind of bump their base one shade, kind of warm it up. Then I go in and you can either balayage or you can foil, lightener, or bleach, or whatever you want to call it. And I usually like to, so I ask my clients, where do you part your hair? If they part it in the middle, if they part it in the side, and then I kind of place my highlights kind of going down on the side so that they're not going directly this way, but they're just gonna kind of peek through. Then I do a few face framing ones, but I never touch my foils completely right at the roots. This just kind of gives you that nice face framing highlighted look. Now you can do this with foils or you can balayage it. I personally prefer to do it with foils. I find that doing my highlights with foils, I have a little bit more control with the lightener or the bleach. Sometimes I find when you balayage, just depends on whatever you're comfortable with, but you don't want to end up with polka dot hair. And if you're a stylist, you know what I mean by polka dot hair. You get a little bit of dab of bleach on one spot and then you're like, crap, polka dot hair. If that happens, touch it up with a semi-permanent, just let your clients know, oh, just gonna cover this up. But anyway, so I prefer foils to create kind of the highlighted look, and I don't usually touch my lightener or my highlighter right at the roots because you've already gone in and you've bumped the base. Let that process, watch your highlights, lift them to the desired level. Then I like to go in with a semi-permanent. My favorite semi-permanent line is Redken Shades because I feel like it creates a lot of shine and a lot of warmth, and you really don't have to use a filler, and it doesn't really go mucky or green or swampy or whatever you want to call it. So the last 5 minutes that your color is processing, I like to go in and you can either do one of two things. You can literally open each foil and paint that semi-permanent right on top of the bleach, or you can take your foils, pull them out just a little bit, and then take that semi-permanent and paint it where you want it and literally smudge it into the roots. Let that process 5 minutes. Then you're gonna wanna rinse it. What's gonna happen with this is you're gonna rinse it and these highlights are just gonna be really soft and subtle and peek through. Think about when you're doing brunette's hair and you go in and you throw highlights. You're always gonna tone them because they're not brassy. So think of that when you're creating the smudge. All you're doing is toning the roots. You want those bright highlights through the ends. You just wanna soften the look on top so you don't have a streaky look and it creates that smudge look. So anyways, you guys, that's how I create the smudge look. Go to my website, dkwstyling.com, check out some of my colors, go to my blog, see my work, see what I'm up to, and hopefully this video helps you, if you do hair or if you don't, to kind of create the look you want. Also, when you're creating the smudge, a lot of times my blondes, they tell me, leave the front of my hair blonde. It's like our comfort blanket. We, for some reason, can go dark everywhere as long as we have those highlights around our face. So when you're doing the smudge, like with mine, what I do is I kind of smudge it, but I smudge it like an angle, working my way down so that I have more highlights around my face. So anyways, that's how I do mine. That's how I do a lot of my blonde smudges. You can also do with caramely browns and things like that. But have fun, be creative, play with color, and be passionate about hair and your job and everything else. Okay, you guys, we'll see you next week with a fun tip or tutorial. Again, check out my website at dkwstyling.com.